So funny. What these are a lot of swords. I'm gonna let you know this right now. Like, this is a lot of air. Like, we have the Ace of Swords, we have the Page of Swords, we have the Seven of Swords. Like, that's crazy. I'm gonna flirt back. Do it. Do it. Because why not? Basically what this is number one, this is a lot of new, right? Like, this is a lot of really, this is a lot of new beginnings, and really what it is like a change in perspective, change in thought, change in the way that you see things, which is good for the most part, you know, because changes in the way that you see things, changes in the way that you think, lead to big changes around you, you know, and things start to feel really different. But also with those changes comes this Page of Swords energy, where it's like, okay, I just have all this energy, it like really wants to get things going, and it wants to create change, and it's like, let's do it. But sometimes this card, it starts to do things before it's actually ready, and it doesn't really take the time to, like, okay, let me make sure that I'm doing this correctly, let me make sure I'm doing what I need to do, let me stop and think and plan a little bit before I actually try and get things going, you know, which can create a little bit of problems, you know. So like, we have this new energy here, but sometimes we rush into things before we actually know what we're supposed to be doing, which can lead us into a little bit of danger. And along with that, we have the Seven of Swords here, which is a theft card, which is a someone wasting your time and energy, someone taking your time and energy type card. So this card also says, hey, maybe keep to yourself a little bit. Maybe don't share everything with other people, because there are some people who are around you who are not genuine, who don't really have your best in heart, you know. They really don't want to see you thrive and vibe and succeed the way that they should. So that's just a be cautious type card. Like, are there good things coming for you? Yes, but you also have to be aware of your surroundings. You also have to make sure that you're not just doing things willy-nilly. It's okay, me neither. Honestly, listen, it doesn't specifically say that they don't like you back, right? That's not what this says. But what it does say is that we're being a little reckless, that we're being a little careless. And so I would not encourage you to try and like go for that or engage in that, because like, it would probably be bad. My suggestion would be to move on. And here's my reasoning for why. We have the Fool in the reverse. The Fool, super impulsive, super reckless, doesn't think through what it's actually doing. Sometimes the Fool is living a little bit in Delulu, right? And then we also have the Ace of Pentacles here in the reverse, which basically means that like, it wouldn't go anywhere. It wouldn't amount to anything. It really would have no foundation to be built off of, you know? So like, you can't really do anything with that crush, you know, because potentially they're not going to like you back. But even if they did, it wouldn't be able to be built into anything substantial, you know. Like, you could try. We have the Three of Pentacles here, which is like that try card, which is like, okay, let me try and put in the energy, let me try and put in the work, so that way it can eventually be something. But it just feels like even if you put in all of that work and effort, it still might amount to nothing, you know. And I don't want you to waste your time and energy like that. You know, I don't want to see you get let down like that, because that's never fun, honestly. I don't like this at all. The more I'm looking at it, I don't like this at all. Like, this gives me the vibes of like they're just lost and confused. Like, this gives me the vibes of like they're looking for something to bring in a sense of stability in their life, you know? That's really what it feels like. Because we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, right? The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse lacks self-care. It lacks self-nurturing. And more importantly, it doesn't ever really like think about, okay, what do I need? What can I do to take care of myself? And instead it focuses on other people, you know? So it feels like a way to not focus on them and not give themselves the care that they need, which leads to them just being a little bit reckless and impulsive and careless. And also with that, we have the Strength in the reverse, which is like, not only is it like not a whole bunch of strength, but like low motivation, just not really being able to have the courage that they need in order to do the things that they need. So it feels like they're looking for these things in other people or other situations, you know? So I feel like their soft spot for you is just like a twisted way at trying to find some sort of stability. Honestly, she needs help. Yeah, honestly, this person genuinely needs help helping themselves. That's really what it is. And they don't know how to help themselves, and they don't know where to start. And so they're kind of like, it's a misguided attempt at like trying to find some stability is what it is. That sounds like Eric. Yeah. It's just a misguided attempt at trying to find something of stability, trying to find something of comfort, because they don't know how to find it in themselves, genuinely. Which I don't really like too much. How my hands are sweaty. I love how you... I love that. I would still probably say to stay away. Although their intentions aren't malicious. Like, they're not evil. They're not like, I'm out to get you, I'm here to ruin things. But they also aren't... They're not steady, honestly. Like, we have the moon here, which is a confliction card, which is like two conflicting emotions of like, I should do this or I should do that. It feels like they want to change, like they want to do something different, like they want to create something different. And the main reason why I say that is because we have the magician here, right? And like the magician is all about like, okay, I want to create that change, I want to do something new, I want to like start something new, and be able to like manifest whatever I'm trying to do. And we also have the Eight of Pentacles here, which is like, I'm ready to put in the work, I'm ready to put in the effort. But this card has a lot of learning and growing to do. Like it's still in the process of learning and growing and developing and like figuring out what it needs to do. And on top of that, it's still not exactly in the right place. And the reason we know this is because we have this Eight of Swords here, which is like it's feeling trapped, it's feeling stuck, which is why it wants to create that change. Because it's like, I need something different, I'm trying to feel better, I'm trying to create something different. So that's what they're currently trying to do. But in the midst of trying to create something different and new, they're kind of going back to old things to try and start that, you know? Because they're not 100% sure of like, okay, how do I do this? Because they don't have a clear perspective and they don't know exactly what they should be doing. Which is the main reason why I'm like, you should still stay away, because like while they're trying, they still don't exactly know what they're doing, which could make you collateral damage. And I don't want you to be collateral damage, especially if their emotions are a little all over the place and they're not 100% sure of what they're doing. And on top of that, we have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a stressful card. It's a mentally overwhelming card where things just are just like very chaotic. And you don't need that type of chaos in your life. You don't need to be mentally stressed or overwhelmed or mentally drained, you know? And that's their vibe right now, you know? So it's not like they're doing anything mean or they have any evil intent, but they're still not where they need to be. And we also have the Two of Wands here, and the Two of Wands has options, right? It's like, okay, you can either choose this or you can either choose that. And the problem with this card is it does one of two things, is it gets so scared to make a choice that it just doesn't make a choice, which ends up being a choice anyways, and it makes things worse than it already is. Or because of lack of like seeing things clearly and just lack of information, it chooses the wrong choice, which also puts them in a very bad spot, you know? So like while they're trying, they still have a long way to go, honestly. And I feel like he's doing things to me in an evil way. It's like, here's what I think it is, right? I think it's more like part of him wants to do things in a sort of malicious intent, and the other part is like, no, I want things to be different, I want to create this change, like I'm trying to do something new, right? Which is part of the reason why he's trying to like come back, because it's like, okay, I still have like, part of me wants to be a little bit malicious, but the other part doesn't. And so it's like, I'm gonna just try and fight those urges, but I'm going to go back, you know? Which is weird, which is why sometimes some of the things that he does, it's like, that was kind of malicious, that was kind of like, you're out to get me. Because part of him does. And like, even if he doesn't admit it, because he's like, well, no, I'm trying to change and this and that, there's still that one part. We are in Boston. Hi, Sweet Potato. How's it going? How's my life on this path without him? Ooh, I actually like that question. Let's go. I think this is interesting because, in a way, it's better. It's like more balanced. And the reason I say that is because we have the Lovers card, right? The Lovers card has a sort of balance to it, but more accurately, it has a good understanding. Like this card is like, it can understand, it's on the same page. It's like, okay, there is no conflict in this card, and that's the key. Like no conflict, no like misunderstandings. I feel like relationships with, like the rest of your relationships in your life have gotten better, you know, because there's just a level of understanding between you and those people. which is a good thing. And then on the other hand, it's a little bit harder. Like, we have the strength in the reverse, which sometimes this card just feels really demotivated. It forgets its own power. It forgets its own strength. And mostly that's because it's like these struggles, these things coming at it, and sometimes it just feels a little bit defeated by it, you know? It's not that it doesn't have the strength or the courage, it's more that sometimes it struggles to find its own strength and courage. And so it's a matter of like, okay, let me rebuild that in myself. And I feel like this is more of a like self-growth journey than anything, because on top of that we also have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, and this card makes me feel like we're opening our eyes to the things that weren't working in the past, you know, especially the things that we thought were bringing us a sense of safety, a sense of stability, those types of things. We're realizing that some of the things that we do or did that we thought brought us that sense of safety or a sense of comfort actually wasn't very helpful, and so we're starting to replace those things, you know. We're starting to put in things that actually do work and that will help us, which is why we have that strength card in the reverse, because sometimes when we take out those fundamental aspects that used to help us, and we're trying to figure out a new thing to put in place of that, it can feel really intimidating, it can feel really hard, you know. So it's just like this growth that's happening, which is really good, you know, because it's needed. And relationships are just more balanced, they're more even, there's a lot more understanding, there's a lot more comprehension that's going on there. So I would say better, if you're asking me, you know. But that's just the opinion of a being.